boys, it's time to eat. The problem with the fact they swim over there, they're trying to get to Waylon's food, but they can't go up along those rocks. They're gonna have to walk all the way around over there. And what's bad is they have their very own food troughs right over here that are full of food. So they're gonna go run Waylon off of that food is what's gonna happen. And then Waylon's gonna come over here and eat, which is sad. But, oh well, animals. Baby, what's in your mouth? What's in your mouth? That's an ostrich feather. That's an ostrich feather. Who's hungry? Sweetie, you're gonna choke on that feather. She has an ostrich feather in her mouth, and she's just chewing away like it's the funniest thing. She wants someone to chase her. She wants someone to chase her. Sweetie, I'm not gonna chase you around. Oh, the energy. All right, Christmas will chase her. Take that feather from her, Christmas. Take that feather from her before she swallows it. Oh, Lord. She just mooed. That is the funniest thing. One big happy family here, y'all. That's one big happy family. All right. Thank you, Sadie. Sadie took the feather out of her mouth. Thank you, Sadie. Now, Chrissy will go hide it. Maybe just hide it or eat it herself. I want to show you something cute. So as of right now, Finnegan is hanging out with Daddy. And, but if you notice, Starla has gone on her own. She's walked over to the goat pasture and she's climbed inside. She can go underneath the fence. There's a couple of spots she can go right under, and she has. And she doesn't have to, guys. She chooses to. So she's right there wondering if she can trust Tat or not. You can see right there around Tat's feet where she comes in and out. There's a little bit of a space there that she climbs under. But for now, she's over there hanging out with Laverne, just trying to nibble on some grass and some hay, trying to figure out what goats do. And that's really cute that she's doing that. It's also kind of sad because that means that she's kind of ready to become a goat. And the further she goes along with her, you know, with nibbling and trying out things that goats do, foraging and grazing, that means one day closer to her becoming a goat and living in the goat pasture. But you do remember that Shirley at one point was just like our little sweet girl right there. Starla and Shirley had very similar lifestyles. Finnegan, do not go in there. You're not ready for that. But here comes Shirley Bird now. Shirley Bird wants to come see the baby. Shirley Bird was a whole lot like Starla and the fact that she was bottle fed and loved and raised right there inside the house and on the porch. And man, she and Mr. Huck had a wonderful childhood. But at some point, y'all, once they get past that bottle stage, it's time to go ahead and move on to the next level. And next level means going inside the pasture. Hi, Shirley. And so what I'm watching over here, to be completely honest, is sort of the beginning to the end of Starla's in-house, indoor, living inside experience. Sweetie, you want to come back out now? Have you had enough goat life? You had enough goat adventures? Hold on, let Daddy work here with one hand. You can come out if you want to. Finnegas, you need to stay out. You're not ready to be a goat. Finnegas is not ready to be a goat. Let's go love on Shirley a little bit. I hope that you guys remember Shirley as a baby. She was the cutest little thing. She and Mr. Huck together were quite the combo, man. The dynamic duo, they were something else. So Brienne did say she's going to come by at some point and take her goats back home. So we may be seeing the end of your reign of terror here, mister. Shirley, I'm coming to love on you. What I love the most about Shirley is I can put my hand out and she'll put her face in the palm of my hand. She's always done this. Oh, well, there we go. Shirley, just do it, Shirley. Shirley, I got everyone excited about seeing. There we go. That's what I love about Shirley. She just wants scratches right now. She's like, you know what? I don't want to be held. I want to be scratched because I'm itchy. All right, Shirley Bird. That's a good girl. So once a bottle-fed baby, always a wonderful, wonderful pet. And a lot of people say that you don't have to bottle feed them, Lester, to make them to be such sweet, gentle pets. I kind of disagree with that. In my experience, if you do not bottle feed one, you'll never earn the trust of mommy. Never. And so they may be gentle-ish, where they hang out in the pasture and they may walk around you and jump around you. They're not going to be wild like a deer, but they're not going to literally come up to you and touch you and seek to be in your lap and seek to be held and seek to be loved on, unless they were bottle fed. And that bottle feeding really does makes you their new mom or makes you their new dad. May I get out of here, please, sir? May I walk out of here? An example is Laverne. Laverne was not bottle fed. Now, she's not wild. She's not running around wild, but she's also not going to let me touch her. And if I do, it's going to be a lucky grab. Look out, Mr. Finnegas and Stella. I love you, Shirley. I do. And then once they're out in the pasture, guys, no matter what, you do lose a little bit of a connection. Brady was a bottle-fed baby, and you can walk up to him and put your arms around him, and he'll let you love all over him. Neither one of the Golden Girls were bottle-fed. Neither one of them. Chip and Roxy were both bottle-fed. But, yeah, there's just a difference, y'all. There's a difference in those that you bottle feed compared to those that you don't. And I actually like the fact that you can go up and love on a goat. I like any animal that you can walk up and love on. Just touch and love. But, no, seeing Starla on her own make her way into the pasture and start hanging out and trying to spend more time around the pasture means that she's becoming of that age where she kind of wants to do goat-type stuff. And that's something that we have to allow. So what you can see in the distance there is Santoro up on the higher hill over here and Waylon down low. They're both eating some, we put some alfalfa hay out this morning. They've already had their grain. The grain goes into bowls, and they've already had their grains. Now they're eating on their hay. I don't see Tex. Oh, I do. Here he is. He's over. You can barely see his back over the top of the loafing shed or the well house. Walk a little bit further over. Here's our great guardians over here. We have guardian dogs everywhere. Shirley, I'm sorry, love. I'm leaving now. I love you. Shirley's staring at me. She's like, wait, I'm ready to put my head in your hands. I am ready to put my hand in your you know what I mean. There's our big stud. He's found a little bit of green grass there alongside the pond. Now, today is my Monday, and today's the day I start irrigating. I told Jamie I'm going to wait till the afternoon hours. I'm not going to irrigate in the heat of the day. I'll wait till about 6 o'clock or so, and then I'll do my chores, and then I'll set up one of those small pumps. And the pumps have a 100-foot hose on one of them. We have a 200-foot hose on the other two. And so I figure I'll put the smaller one over on this end, and I'll irrigate all of this hill. I can go up that entire hill, I believe, with 100-foot and spray, and just let that water spray at the top and kind of run back down. And I'll move it as far as I can. I'll pull that 100-foot hose as far as I can. Now over here, I'll have to get that first 200-foot hose. I'll put it in the water and I'll walk it up the hill, the hose, and then kind of, like I said, spray all the way down. I'll kind of walk the hose downhill, not uphill. Walking a hose uphill would be hard. If I can roll it out while it's empty and then spray walking downhill, it'll be a whole lot easier. And I'm just going to saturate the ground. I'll do the same thing over on this side. Now guys, I'll tell you right now, it's hard to see because of the tree. I do not want to irrigate here where there's no grass. I think that would be foolish of me to spend and waste exhaust water where there's absolutely zero grass, because there's nothing going to grow out of dirt. You'll have to at some point seed some grass, or it can kind of grow up the hill naturally towards us. So I'm not going to spray and douse down dirt. That would be foolish. Instead, I will spray where there's already existing grass and try to get that to turn back nice and green and start growing. So the first step, this first week, I'm going to focus only on this area. This side of the pasture, on that side of the pond, where there's already good existing grass that just needs to have water. And so that will be week 1. Now, there is some grass. It's hard to see from where I'm standing. I'm so sorry. There is some grass on this side of the pond, right there closer along the edge, and I can do that as well. So that's going to give me at least 5 days of irrigation on this side of the pond. If we do not get any rain, now we're going to start having to do a little bit more work. Whatever I exhaust out of the pond over this week, I'll spend the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, using the big pumps to replenish and refill. I'll refill the pond to capacity, and during the weekend I'll reset my pumps over to this side. Now what I'm going to do, this is going to be a whole lot more work, but it's going to have to be done. I will take all 3 pumps and I will connect them together. I'll set one right there by the blue barrel into the water. I'll drag that 100-foot hose as far as it'll reach, and then I'll tie on that second pump with 200-foot of hose, and I'm going to slowly extend it right up top of that hill. Then I'll put that third pump with 200 more foot and go to the top, or at least as far as 500 foot will reach. And then I'll crank them up, get them primed, and I'll slowly start just saturating that ground and work myself back down the hill towards the pond. And so that's how we're going to have to do it. And so I can do all of that without having to use the trailer with the big tank. Using that trailer and the big tank will work. I've done that before. I put, sheesh, what was it? 4,000 gallons of water on this pasture over here using the trailer and the tank. But that right there is a whole lot lengthier of a process. You know, it takes a whole lot more time to fill the tank and then go, you know, exhaust that water across the pasture. But we will do that if we have to. But like I said, I'm going to do this a week at a time, use my weekends to refill, keep our pond nice and full. And then if we go into week number 3, still with no rain, then guess what? We get that bad boy back out again. And we go ahead and fill it up 1,000 gallons at a time. We'll drive that 1,000 gallons over and I'll just have to do that multiple times throughout the week. And so that's my plan. It's a 3-week plan. I'm going to focus over here first, week 1, and then over there towards the road, week number 2, and then over here, week number 3. Guys, please don't tell me we're going to go more than 3 weeks without getting rain back in our forecast. But if we don't, we'll start repeating and we'll go again. But I did rent the big pumps that go to the river for an entire month. So we have them until about the 15th or so of September. And so that gives me about 3 weeks before we have to decide, do I rent the big pumps for another month? And I don't want to. You guys have no idea how expensive that is. You don't have any idea. But, and I don't want to talk about it. I don't. All I will say is thank you for watching videos. Thank you for putting up with those annoying ads. Every time they pop up, you just keep watching, and I certainly appreciate that. You can skip the ad, that's fine. But you don't skip the video, or else, well, let's not talk money. We're going to make it. God's will, y'all. God's will, we're going to make this, okay?
Don't let your troubles fester. Come watch Longhorn Lester.
Yeah, something like that.